Wealth Our Way Wednesdays, 12:30 p.m. 15 minutes of finance. What do you do when you're starting from the mud with less than zero? No plan, no role model, no hero. Take to the streets, bring heat like De Niro, or tune in to Wild, the network, the thorough. If it was me, I'd sit down with a pad and a pen, hit my homie shitty thoughts with a friend. Tank is spitting real knowledge from beginning to end. 15 minutes, Wealth Our Way, let the lesson begin. Yeah, 15 minutes of finance with your man, Big Tank. Let's get it. What's good, my people? Y'all already know it's your man, Big Tank. It's Wild Wednesday. It's a great day. We got both 15 minutes of finance and the Financial Power Hour for that ass today. Love it. This is episode 212 of 15 minutes of finance. And today we are talking about why rising interest rates are not all bad. You know, it's great to be in the business that I'm in because I really get to help people. And I had a conversation. I had 2 client meetings yesterday via Zoom and just was doing some really good work with my clients and helping them uncover things. And the topic of moving some what I call lazy money into a higher productive zone through the use of high interest rate savings accounts came up. And it really made me think that's what today's topic needs to be. Before I get into today's topic, though, I do want to say I got a heartwarming communication from one of my homies. They know who they are. I never put anybody on blast, but, basically telling me that being a Wild Nation member, tuning into 15 minutes of finance, the Financial Power Hour, has really helped them financially get on track with certain things. And nothing means more to me than that feedback. This program has become a part of my life now. It's 3 years. First of all, and a lot of you do know me personally, sticking with something for this long has amazed me. Being here day in and day out. And I know the program has changed formats. We went from every day of the week to Tuesdays and Thursdays, then to Wednesday. And these are things that I'm working on with the team because we're trying to get the best effect. But the consistency of being able to deliver powerful financial information is what Wealth Our Way is all about. And getting that feedback from my homie that my words are helping really touched my heart. So I hope that's true for all of you guys and girls out there, that you're getting something from this information. It's meant to be entertaining and educating, but it's meant to be helpful. It's meant to be put into action to actually do something with it. So in preparation for the interest rate show, I was going through all of the emails that I got, and I found one that kind of dealt with interest rates. So I'm going to use that for today's go or no go. The question was posed to me, and it's funny because I got a similar offer in the mail from Home Depot, but the question was posed to me of one of the members of Wild Nation is buying some furniture, and the furniture store is offering 1 or 2 different choices for the person. You can get a 10% discount on what you're buying right now. Go to the register, buy it, 10% off. Or you can buy it on store credit, and for 2 years, 24 months, not pay any interest, same as cash for 2 years. This is a simple math problem. And the easiest way to think about it, without having to break out your pencil, without having to drive yourself mathematically crazy, is to find out what the interest rate would be on the credit card for the store. So for me, my Home Depot card has an interest rate of 15.49%. So if they offered me 10% off or allowed me to put it on my card and not pay interest for 2 years, I'm choosing the second one, because I'm saving 15.49% as opposed to a one-time 10%. Now, there's more to the equation than that. So let's be clear. I'm using more of my credit, so my utilization rate will go up. I have to know whether that's going to affect me negatively or not. Fortunately for me, my Home Depot card has a pretty high balance. If I were to go in there and buy a refrigerator and a stove or whatever and spend $3-4 grand, I'm still at around 30% utilization on that card, and it wouldn't bring my score down. But saving 15% on $4,000, that's $600 a year. $600 a year for 2 years is $1,200. I could save $1,200 interest, have better use of my dollar. Y'all know Bud, best use of a dollar, by going ahead and putting that on the card. So I'm going to say go to 24 months financing, no go to the 10% off. I try to extract questions that are very dry and cut, but maybe I'm not communicating to my audience how the questions should come in. I don't get a lot of questions that allow me to just say yes or no. They kind of need some explanation. So in this explanation, choice B, where you would take the 24 months financing, is the better way to go. Now let's get into the heart of today's topic. Working with my one client, we meet once a month via Zoom, and we skipped last month. She had an obligation. But in January, we talked about her taking, she has like $170,000 sitting in a checking account that earns her 0% interest. The money is there because she wants to buy a home toward the end of the year. She's been kind of waiting on buying the home because interest rates keep going up. She doesn't want to get a new mortgage. These are all things that happen. There are variables to every financial decision. And I said to her, I said, well, this money's been sitting in your account for 6 months, earning no interest. Even if it was only getting 2% on $170,000, that's, $3,400 a year in interest at 2%. So we talked about it, and she decided, we agreed, we would open up an account at PenFed Credit Union. I'm a fan of PenFed, and get a CD and move about 50 to 100,000 into the PenFed CD for 6 months and leave the rest in the no interest bearing account. Well, that was my advice. It was good advice. Fortunately for her, she BS'd and didn't listen. So we met, and we didn't meet in February. We met last night, and the first thing she did was apologize. She said, "Oh my God, Tank, I never moved the money, da 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 da." I said, well, you know what? Although my advice was good and you should have did what we talked about, you actually are going to benefit from not taking my advice this time, because since we've last talked, interest rates went up again. So I took her to one of my 2 favorite financial sites. You guys should know by now my 2 favorite financial sites, besides for my own, are Investopedia and NerdWallet. Took her to NerdWallet, and it was an easy remembrance for me because I just did it for another client 2 days ago. And we looked and compared CD rates. There is a CD rate out right now, 10-month CD, offered by Goldman Sachs in their Marcus program, that is paying 5.05% APR for a 10-month holding period. That is ridiculous. To explain how ridiculous it is, the Marcus from Goldman Sachs account for a 1-year CD is only paying 4.5%. So the 10-month is paying 55 basis points more because they're running a promotional special. Give you guys some information on how finance works. Goldman Sachs is one of the most elite financial firms in the world. They deal with the richest of the rich. However, like everyone else, they're segmenting their business and trying to grow other markets. They're trying to get a lower tier level of clientele, which lower tier for them from where they are now is still not low. Don't get it twisted. But they're going from the uber rich, maybe down to the rich, or from the rich to the upper middle class. And in order to incentivize people to bring their money in, they're running specials. That's how we incentivize people. We give them a reward. The introductory rate on this particular CD, which has a minimum balance of $500. That means you put $500 in for 10 months, you're going to get 5.05% annualized. So me and her were talking, and she said, "Oh, I'm going to move the money there." I said, well, let's take one look at one other place. And this is why I'm always telling you guys, you got to be online. You got to use my program to know what to look for, and then go to these sites and look for it. I said, let's take a minute here. We now know we can get 5.05% if we lock your money up for 10 months. Let's see what's going on in the completely liquid environment. And by completely liquid, I mean checking and savings accounts. So we go to compare bank accounts on NerdWallet's site, and we see all of these high interest online bank accounts. Citizens Bank. And I feel the need to say this to you guys. I don't get paid by NerdWallet, by Investopedia, by any of these banks. My program is free. The messaging that I give is free. I don't get sponsored and direct anybody anywhere. And if that ever changes, if somebody comes and gives me a bag to talk about their company, I'll let you cats know. But right now, all of this is on the arm and the love. We looked at Citizens Bank, which, you know, if you're from Philly, which I'm from, Citizens Bank is what the Phillies stadium is named after, Citizens Bank Park. They are offering a checking account where all you have to do is keep a penny in that joint, Philly word, joint, and you can get 4.25% annual APR on this checking account. So now we got to weigh our choices. Do I want to tie up my money for 10 months and get 5.05%, or be able to access my money whenever I want to and get 4.25%? For her, who may decide to jump into a house at any minute, this is a perfect opportunity to split the baby. Put that 50 to 100 in the 10-month account, leave the other money in the high interest savings account, and have the best of both worlds. Between those two accounts, Shorty is looking to make, you know, let's just go back to the 170. Let's use the smaller number of the 4.25. Hell, I'll use 4% because the math is cleaner. 4% of 170,000 is $6,800. And this is how I explain to her, because you guys get me for free. She's a paying client. I charge her a certain amount of money. I explained to her by the interest that she's going to get just by moving this money from one bank account to another. She's going to make more in interest this year, that even after she pays tax on the interest, she covers her Wealth Our Way fee. If that ain't great financial advice and free movement, I don't know what is. So we had a very successful meeting, and it inspired me to come bring that information to you guys. It doesn't matter whether you have $100 or $100,000. It's a function of getting money, best use of a dollar. But which brings me to my 3 tips. So I love 3 tips because it cuts to the point of the message of the day. Tip number 1 for why rising interest rates are not all bad. The negative of rising interest rates is that when we borrow money, it costs us more. So let's not pay interest on things that we are borrowing money from. The way we do that is we don't carry balance on credit cards, or we transfer balances to zero interest credit cards. And we spent time on NerdWallet last night looking at some of the best zero interest cards and balance transfer cards. So tip 1 is don't carry a balance. Tip 2, seek out a high interest online bank account. Just gave you the cheat code. Go to NerdWallet, do some research. We were on a NerdWallet for 6 minutes last night. Like, it doesn't take a lot of time. I tell you guys, you have to have a financial appointment with yourself once a week. Spend 30 minutes to an hour educating yourself and finding the best deals. Tip number 3, this one's really important, so I'm gonna close the show out on this one. Use these high interest rates on your cash accounts to rebalance your asset allocation and de-risk yourself. So this is the conversation she and I had. If I tell someone they should be putting away 20% of their money every year, 15% in investments, 5% in savings, it's been a very hard job for me to convince people to save anything, because putting money in an account that's paying you 0 doesn't feel like you're getting anything. You don't want to do it. Now with rates up, you can put money into your cash accounts and get a good return. So now you can stop over investing in stocks where you really didn't want to, and you're not used to the ups and downs. You can go ahead and split your money 15 and 5, 10%, 10%. So de-risking your asset allocation right now while cash is paying 4 and 5%, you got to do it. It's a risk-free rate versus the stock market, which pays 10% but goes up and down like crazy. So with that being said, I'll see you guys back in a few hours for the Financial Power Hour. I hope you found today's message educating and insightful. Until next time, peace. Thanks for tuning in to the Wild Network. For more great content like this, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page at Wealth Our Way Network. Also, don't forget to follow us on IG and Facebook. Remember, wealth is not only for the wealthy.